Yo, 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 we back with another one. Damn you two sports talk. Stay tuned live. We got Jay in the building. We got D. What's up, fellas? What's going on, man?
What up, man?
What up? Thank you for having me on the show.
Oh, no biggie, man. We just gonna it's a heavy football, college and NFL. It's what week 3 of college, week 2 of the NFL. So it's been a lot. Even though it's still early, it's still been a lot going on, even though it's early, 3 weeks into the college season, 2 weeks into the NFL season. But college football, how y'all feel about it? We just gonna recap week 3. What team
Shit.
stood out, whether they won or lost, or play or whatnot. It's a couple crazy situations that done already, like I think the players from UCLA, they eligible to jump in the portal now. Because once you fire somebody else fired the coach too. I know Deshaun Foster, who was the head coach at UCLA, he's been fired. I know Deshaun Foster because he used to be a running back for us when we went to the Super Bowl with Jake Delhomme. So I remember him in Carolina.
Oh, he a
Um,
coach now?
yeah, he was coaching at UCLA. Yeah, he was on the
Oh,
staff, and then they bumped him up to be the head coach.
okay,
And now they
okay.
fired him. Because they
Oh, yeah,
started.
yeah, yeah. You told me about
Yeah, I
that.
think
Yeah,
they
yeah.
0-3 now. You know, uh, the kid that transferred from Tennessee, he's out there. He's the quarterback out there now. So after they fired Deshaun Foster, those guys are now eligible to get in the portal and leave because the coach got fired. So he probably should have stayed at Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? Chasing money, leaving Tennessee, chasing money at UCLA, and he didn't even get as much money from UCLA that he chased after. He would have got more staying at Tennessee. But
Right.
he tried to be greedy and ask for more from Tennessee, and Tennessee wouldn't give it to him. So he left, went to UCLA, and didn't even quite get as much as he would have gotten if he's just stayed at Tennessee. So now that situation is crazy. But I'm gonna let y'all go. It's a couple other, crazy situations and crazy games in college football, even though it's early. So D, how you feel about who your team? First of all, who your team?
My Longhorns,
Okay, Texas. Okay, so how you feel about Arch Manning?
way too much overhyped though. Everybody hopped on because the Manning thing. Like he's not it though. I think he's inconsistent. Now he's just not getting together. He's like struggling, all that stuff. Like he's making some bad plays and that stuff. I just don't think he's not it. Like there's no way he's gonna enter the college early like people would think though. I think he's gonna stay like his senior year, but Arch Manning, he is not it. People hype him because it's Manning. That's my take on it.
So do you think that was he ever good, or is this just like a situation where the stage has now gotten bigger than what he, at this time in Texas, with his last name, like you said, being a Manning, then you getting paid this NIL money, and you at the Texas program in the SEC now. Do you think it's more so all that pressure built up, or he just wasn't really as good from the get go as people thought?
I just think it's more pressure for right now though. But if we keep seeing more, then maybe we're saying he's not good. I just think it's more pressure. That's just my opinion.
Oh, okay. Jay, how you feel about Arch Manning? Because I know you're a Georgia fan too, and we'll get to that game.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, he looked overrated to me, man. Like I saw a couple highlights, but he won last week though, right? And he lost this week.
No, they won this week.
No,
They
they
Oh, they
won
won
this
lost
this
weekend.
week. Oh, they
the,
won
the
this week.
only game they lost so far is that first game against Ohio State.
Yeah, we lost Ohio State, but we scored. We put up 7 points though. That's the
I
Yeah.
mean, I think he only getting that hype because his last name. If he didn't have Manning, he probably wouldn't be starting right now. So as of right now, I think that's the reason why he's starting. To me, he overhyped right now until he proved that he could go do something good. You know what I'm saying? Right now, he ain't it. As far as I can see.
Now I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt with that first week because you played Ohio State in Columbus. That was gonna be a tough game whether you played at home or away. But the
Hmm.
fact that you had to go on the road week 1, in which the thing is that you got more time to prep for week 1 game than any game in the season. You know what I'm saying? You got a whole summer, you got a whole off season because you know that Ohio State is your first game. You got more time to prep for that first game than any other game in the season. After that, you got games every week, and then other than your bye week. But even if you have your bye week, you still have more time in the offseason to prep for week 1 than any other game.
Yeah.
Including the playoff games and the national championship game. You got more time in offseason to prep for week 1 than any other game. So I give him the benefit of the doubt for that one game because it was Ohio State. And if I'm not mistaken, Ohio State's defensive coordinator is Matt Patricia, right?
Yes.
So he's going up against a NFL caliber defensive head coach, and Ohio State already has a good defense with NFL talent across the board on the defensive side of the ball. So they are known for putting out good secondary players. You know what I'm saying? And so combine that with the fact that you now have a NFL mind at the defensive coordinator as your defensive coordinator. That's a tough week 1. So I get in it, and it was what 14-7. That's what they
Yep.
lost by. So I give him that. But these previous 2 weeks, like y'all played UTEP Saturday, and he got booed. He was
And
throwing
he
balls like
moved.
they booed him.
Yeah, they
The
booed
game
him.
they booed him. He got booed during that game. He was throwing passes behind the receivers. He was short hopping throws. It was no reason for him to be out there doing that against UTEP type of talent. I would expect that the same. He actually played better, in my opinion, against the Ohio State in that defense than he did against UTEP. Because, like I said, I would give him the benefit of the doubt against the Ohio State defense, but UTEP, it ain't no reason for you to be short hopping throws and throwing behind receivers and not looking like that. I don't see a Heisman Trophy candidate. I don't see that. Uh, I don't even see Texas with the way they playing. They hadn't even got into the teeth of their SEC. A lot of people haven't got into their conference schedule yet. They hadn't even really got into their schedule yet. I understand like I said, they played Ohio State week 1. That was a tough game, but they in a SEC schedule now. They hadn't even got into SEC play yet. So I don't even at this rate. I don't even if Arch Manning keep going at this rate, I don't even have them in the SEC championship game. And that was a game a lot of people had Texas penciled in to get to, and a lot of other people had them penciled in to win it, the SEC this year. They got there last year and lost to Georgia, to Gunnar Stockton. And Arch did get in that game and play. So I thought that he would be kind of shaky against top tier talented defenses like Ohio State and Georgia last, but he was shaky against
Georgia.
UTEP. He was shaky against UTEP, to be
Out of
honest
all
with you.
places, UTEP? That's crazy.
And it was at home. It was in Texas. It was in Austin, Texas. So I don't really see much of what people think Arch Manning gonna be. And if I'm an NFL team, I'm not even really trying to position myself just for Arch Manning. Because he's that ain't a bright spot right now. You know what I'm saying? That ain't somebody that I'm trying to tank for to get.
Right.
That ain't somebody I got to have. I think there are some better quarterbacks right now. But that's just my take. But speaking of Georgia, Jay, how you feel about that
Hey
Tennessee
man.
Vols game? It's 9 in a row.
Hey, I know Dennis thought he was gonna have one. You know what I'm saying? Dennis, he a Tennessee fan, so I know he pissed off about that. You know what I mean? Because he had put a reel up talking about showing how showing his frustration. So they had us on the ropes. You know what I'm saying? They had me a little nervous though. So, but hey, I'll take
Yeah,
it.
I was
I'll take that dub. But yeah, they
I
did
was a
have me
little nervous.
nervous.
Did you see that Tennessee Georgia game?
I think I have, but I couldn't remember though. But I heard it was a pretty good game though. I forgot what kind of college game I was
Yeah, it went
watching
into
though.
overtime, man.
But I will say
Yeah.
this though. My question is, did Dennis go to the game? The reason why I was asking, because every year since Howie Roseman become a GM, they always draft the Georgia players.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He might as well be a Georgia fan because that's all Eagles fans draft. That's
Yeah,
basically Georgia team over there. You know what I mean? That's basically
pretty
the
much.
Georgia.
Well,
So,
I
but
think I think the reason why I didn't watch the Georgia and Tennessee, which the game I should have been watching, is that how's Florida and LSU. That's probably why I probably missed out. I think I did watch a little bit, though I couldn't remember.
you missed a good one
Yeah,
though. But
that was wild. But now I think That's 9 in a row. Georgia done beat Tennessee.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
I don't. That's just Josh Heupel.
Okay.
He just can't seem to get over the Kirby hump. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like Kirby couldn't get over Saban,
Right.
and he came close. And, well, actually, he did beat
I'm
Saban in the
tripping.
national championship game. That was Saban in the national championship game. But all the other times, it was the SEC championship game. Something would happen where he would come this close to beating Saban, and something would happen. But um, I think Josh Heupel in that offense, to me, this is just my opinion. They started too fast, too soon. They couldn't sustain that up tempo for 4 quarters. You know, they came out and jumped out on us 21-7. And once Georgia got into some type of rhythm and got to playing their ball, you know, because what Josh Heupel like to do is he like to run up tempo, and he likes to get you out of your game to try to play his game when you can't play his game.
Right.
But what happened with Kirby that I saw is Kirby stuck to his game plan, and he slowly got back into the game after being down 21-7. Because they was hitting us in the mouth. It was 21-7 before you blink. It was 21-7. And
Yep.
that up tempo pace, it's hard to keep that up for a whole game. You know, they
Yeah.
kept it up for the first quarter, and then the second quarter, Kirby kind of got back to his bread and butter and clawed his way back in the game. And at the half, it was 21-17, I believe, at the half. So after Tennessee scored those 21 points in the first, they didn't score again in the second. And then Georgia got the ball at halftime and came out and scored I think on their opening drive and scored and took the lead and made it 24-21.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I think that's how it
Um,
went.
so and he was able to kind of stick with his game plan without trying to play Josh Heupel's game and get into you know, he stuck with the run because we always keep a stable of backs, it's like 3 backs, stuck with the run or whatever. So he was able to utilize the run. Gunnar Stockton, he showed up in a hostile environment when they needed him. Because there was a lot of questions about him coming into this season. Then there was a lot of questions about him in those first 2 games against Marshall and with Austin Peavy. We
Mm-hmm.
played and he didn't, you know, people didn't think that he looked all that good in those 2 tune-up games. But going on the road to Tennessee in that environment and passing for over 300 yards, um,
304.
yeah, he had 304 to be exact.
2 touchdowns. Yeah.
And
I'm saying.
yeah, that was, I think that was the game that he needed to have on the road to prep him, because all the tough teams that we got on our schedule is at home this year. You know, we got Bama at home this year, Texas at home this year, Ole Miss at home this year. The only other tough game we got on our schedule on the road, I think, would be Auburn. And you know, we play Georgia Tech. That's our in-state rival, but that they gonna move that to the Mercedes-Benz. So that's a neutral site. And
Yeah.
maybe, you know, you got go to Jacksonville and play Florida. So maybe this game right here in that hostile environment is gonna prep him for Auburn, and
Oh,
it's
because
gonna
we got
prep him to
Alabama
go.
next, huh?
Not this week, but the following week. I
Next,
think we got
yeah,
a
next
body.
game.
Yeah,
Yeah, next game. Yeah.
yeah. So this type of game on the road for Gunnar Stockton, I think that took his confidence way up, or it should have took his confidence way up to go on the road Auburn, to go, you know, to a neutral site and play Florida. Because Florida actually played LSU tough and had a chance to beat LSU had it not been for DJ Lagway throwing five picks. So I just think this really did a lot for Gunnar Stockton in this environment. Uh, the way he started those first 2 games, you
Yeah,
know
we
what I'm
played
saying? He needed
Texas.
this.
We played Texas on the 15th, November 15th. So there we
Yeah,
go. There we go.
It took about 150 attempts, but it's finally here. So
and
What's
what's up,
up?
brother?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm good. What you how you feel about Utah? I know Utah, that's them your guys.
Hey, Utah Utes are 3-0. I mean, they're 16th in the country right now. I mean, I will not complain. at all.
What up, Mondo?
Yeah, we were
What's up,
just
Mondo?
we were just chiming in on the Georgia Tennessee game. Did you see it?
The only game that counted, baby.
So that Georgia and Tennessee game, Georgia should have really not won that game. Tennessee, see, Georgia didn't win this game. Tennessee lost it. That's really what happened. Georgia did not win this game. Tennessee lost it. I don't give credit to Josh's team for winning that game because he really didn't win the game.
Hey, it is what it is, man.
Yeah, I would say that missed field goal that forced the overtime. When that happened, I knew the game was over. I knew it was over. You know, because prior to that kick, didn't Tennessee get a false start? They're moving back 5 yards.
They did, yes.
Yeah. So I was watching it and I heard the commentator say they was gonna try to run a play and get the ball over to the other, hash or more to the center of the field. That was better suited for the kicker. So they end up getting a false start, moving them back 5 yards. So Josh Heupel sent the punt team, the field goal unit out there because he didn't want to run the chance on nothing else happening. And he had the leg, he just was wide to the right. Way right, not barely, but he was way wide to the right. So when that happened, I knew the game was over. I knew it was over.
So you want me to give your team credit?
We gonna talk about your team, Mondo, the Colts.
I mean, if anything, I want to give Indiana Jones credit. I want to give the fact that he has resurrected his career by leaving the New Jersey Giants and going over to Indianapolis. I mean, I'll give him credit.
That's crazy, Mondo. We're gonna talk about your Colts.
I'll talk about your team later. I'll give one player credit because there's one player who deserves a lot of credit.
Mondo, what about your Wolverines, man? You see his college football recap. What about your Wolverines, man? That's what we want to hear about your Wolverines, man.
Hey, I will say this. Notre Dame is the first team since 2009 to go 0-2 and still be ranked somehow.
Yeah, they're in the top 10, ain't they?
Hey, they're ranked 24th, but they're 0-2. Like, they're the first team since, I believe, Oklahoma in 2010 to go 0-2 and somehow still be ranked.
Okay, they 24th. Now, I know they was in the top 10.
Yeah, they were ranked in the top 5. They lost in week 1, and then they lost to Texas A&M. So they're 0-2, but somehow still ranked. I don't get it.
I don't get it.
That's crazy.
He said, man, they play Central Michigan. Let's see when they play Nebraska next week.
But that's because of the agreement the Big Ten and the MAC have. Like, there was a deal done in 2012 where the Big Ten and the MAC conference had an agreement where they will face each other throughout the year. That's why Ohio State takes on Ohio. Like, that's the reason why Central Michigan takes on Michigan. Like, they have a deal, Big Ten and MAC do. That's why they play at least once a year. So,
hey Ralph, since Mondo here, Indianapolis fan, you just want to do the Indianapolis one real quick, and then we'll hop into the NFL and then the other one.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and since he's an Indy fan, Indy 2-0, right? They knocked off Denver, and it was almost a situation like with the Tennessee Georgia. More so, Indy not winning, but Denver losing it on that penalty.
Mm-hmm.
They gave Indy the field goal. But week 1, they just beat all kinds of hell out of Miami. I don't know what the hell is going on down there in Miami. They got all kind of issues.
That's
but
ugly.
Hey, when you lose a lot of your assistant coaches and they go somewhere else, that chemistry gets messed up. So
they got more than just that. They got the Tyreek Hill situation with the domestic violence lingering, and even before that, he was making comments about Tua. Tua having the injury, with the concussions. He ain't been concussed yet this year, but that's something he frequently have. Then you got the situation with Mike McDaniels. He been talking crazy and weird all off season. He kind of sounds like he kind of not all the way there when he talked.
He said, I give Denver credit. They were controlling the game yesterday. Bo Nix was cooking.
Then you made the trade and you lost Jalen Ramsey and a tight end, Jonas Smith. So they got all kind of shit going on. So Indy beat them week 1. Then they came back yesterday and beat Denver. So I'm asking y'all I know it's only 2 games now, 2 weeks in, but is the Indianapolis Colts actually good this year?
They better than what I thought. Especially with Danny, what y'all call him, Danny Pennies.
Danny Pennies.
No. His new name is
Indiana Jones.
Yeah,
Indiana
Jones.
Jones.
That's what they're calling him. Oh wow.
Indiana Jones.
It's no longer Danny Dimes. It's Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones. That's what it is now.
Jones. I mean, hey, he living up for the last 2 weeks. He lived up to it. But I don't know.
Mondo is probably going to get this reference because this is an old school reference. But in 1986, the Chicago Bears drafted this quarterback named Jim Harbaugh. And Jim Harbaugh was a decent, but he wasn't a great quarterback in Chicago. Some people thought that he was a kind of bust, as he was the guy who really took over post the Jim McMahon era. And he leaves Chicago. He goes to Indianapolis on a high-risk, high-reward type of move. It's an infamous clip now, Mel Kiper saying, when all you have is Jim Harbaugh, like essentially dissing Jim Harbaugh for him leaving the Bears and going to the Colts. Well, what ended up happening to Jim Harbaugh, Mondo knows immediately where I'm going with this, he not only became the best version of his entire career in Indianapolis, but he led the Colts to the playoffs that year and resurrected his career after leaving the Bears and going to the Colts. So it's been done before. We've seen it happen where a quarterback, a highly touted quarterback, they leave their team A, they go to team B, and they get in the right system, the right culture, the right place at the right time. And I really believe Daniel Jones has taken advantage of this opportunity. And as long as Daniel Jones continues to get 300 yards per game, he gets a couple of touchdowns, doesn't really turn over the ball that much. Lets Jonathan Taylor cook with the running game. I wouldn't be shocked if Indianapolis found a way to either be a wild card team or just be 1 game off of being in the wild card. If he continues to do what he's doing now, I wouldn't be surprised.
That's my thing is the turnovers with him. If he cut back on them turnovers, they definitely got a chance of making it. So in the way,
because Mondo, didn't he have like almost 400 yards total yesterday against Denver?
Dang,
I mean, that's crazy.
Like, let me see. And the way Houston looking, I don't know. Them boys can't. They might challenge him for that for the AFC South.
D, what you think about the Colts?
I mean,
are they good or this just or are they good to you, or is this gonna be something like the Saints last year? Because the Saints last season started 3-1, if I'm not mistaken.
No, we started 2-0, and then we fell off a cliff after that.
Because y'all beat some quality teams. Y'all almost beat the Eagles. The Eagles came back in like the last 5 minutes or something and won on a Saquon broke one, and that's what won it for them basically. And then y'all beat the Cowboys last year. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, y'all started 3-1, if I'm not mistaken, last year.
No, we started 2-0, and after we lost the Eagles, we've been on a losing streak. We fired this Allen.
Oh, it was 2-0. I must be thinking about somebody else started 3-1. But is the Indianapolis Colts right now going to be like the Saints was last year, or are they actually going to be pretty good this year?
You're right, Mondo.
I mean, they could be good though, but more than might be the Saints. The reason why, because the Colts, I mean, they're in the worst division. The AFC South is not that good though. I mean, like Mono said, they got the Titans next Sunday, which Colts they'll be fine though. On that though, like I agree with Josh though. I mean, or Ian, whoever said that he's got to avoid turnovers, and if he keeps on, then maybe the Colts will have a good chance to be in the playoffs. Though the only most pressure, not Danny Jones or Indiana Jones, if
Indiana Jones,
if Shane Steichen and Chris Bauer, they're still on a hot seat. Even though this is week 2, though, they're most pressured. That's just my opinion, though. But do I think Colts are really good? I mean, they could be. No, you
don't believe that.
Hey,
I mean, I'm just kind of worried they might be overhyped like the Saints were 2-0, though, but they should be fine. But I don't think make the playoffs, though.
Yeah. So to kind of not correct, but to pretty much piggyback off of what Ralph was saying, the team you're thinking of last year was Seattle. Seattle went 3-1, and then they
They
avoided the
started
playoffs
3-1.
entirely.
Okay.
Yeah, it was Seattle.
I knew somebody started kind of 3-1 and kind of started
Yeah,
fizzing late in
Seattle
the.
had a hot start to the year last year, and then they just flamed out. So
Okay, that's who I'm thinking about then. Yeah.
yeah,
But
And let's
yeah,
not forget.
Indy. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was saying it's like last week they whooped the Dolphins because, like you said, Dolphins had situated though. We didn't expect they put up like 30 points. Dolphins had 8, and last week, yesterday they almost lost the Broncos. I mean, Broncos they got a penalty because let's not forget the kicker missed the field goal. They didn't give him a chance. He made it though.
Didn't they say Patrick Surtain got hurt too?
yeah. PS2 got hurt. Yeah.
So I mean that helped them out too. But at the end of the day, like Mondo said, they was missing a couple of their players and still stuck one out. So go ahead.
Like what did he hurt? Is it like he gonna
It
miss
was
a good one?
ankle. It was like his ankle, knee around there.
I heard it was early too. Like he was
Yeah.
out early.
Mhm.
Yeah, I didn't see the Colts being 2-0, you know.
Nah, I mean,
So it
especially
seemed
not
like
this
everybody.
game.
It seemed like most of the time when people leave the Giants, they actually thrive. You know, Daniel Jones is now thriving in Indiana. Saquon won the Super Bowl.
Oh, he came back. Okay.
Yeah, with the division rival Eagles. Then what's the guy McKinney? I can't think of he's in Green Bay or was I don't know if
Yeah,
he's still in
Xavier
Green Bay.
McKinney is over in Green
Xavier
Bay.
McKinney.
Unfortunately,
Yeah,
he's over in
he
Green
had
Bay.
more picks than in his entire career after he left the Giants and went to Green Bay.
After the
So
first 5 weeks.
what the hell is going on with the Giants? I mean, they players are there and then they don't do shit there. Then they go somewhere else and they produce.
I mean,
You know,
Ralph, it's a very obvious question, but it's kind of a cliche. It's all about culture. Like the Giants have one of the worst cultures in the NFL. There's a reason why so many people want to leave. It's because the culture is broken. And the funny thing about it is you go from one locker room over to the other locker room across the stadium, and that culture is broken too. I mean, that essentially is a cesspool of a broken system.
So the whole damn MetLife is
right.
broken.
The whole MetLife Stadium is broken. I mean, it's just not a good system. Doesn't matter if you're on the Jets side or the Giants side. They are just not a successful culture. And the worst part about it, Ralph, is that Tom Coughlin had that culture. As much as people wanted to say that he was rough on people, and he was at times, Tom Coughlin built a culture in Jacksonville before he left. Tom Coughlin built a culture with the Giants and helped him win 2 Super Bowls before he left. So Tom Coughlin was successful at building that culture in a locker room. The Giants have not had that since he left, and that's the sad reality.
Where's Tom Coughlin now? You know,
so he was an executive for one other team after his head coaching career was done, but I cannot recall off the top of my head what team that was. I think Dalton could probably look that up. But
it was Jaguars.
It was a Jaguars? Yeah, because I remember he went somewhere and was like in the executive front office.
So Jacksonville, where he went to the front office.
Yes. And I got a feeling that was Saxonville, wasn't it? Was that around the 20? See what I mean?
That was around that time.
What I mean? Yeah. Like he builds a culture, regardless if people like him or not. He builds a culture. Tom Coughlin did.
Yeah. Only thing they was missing then when they had Saxonville, they needed a better quarterback than Blake Bortles. That's all they was missing. They had the defense. They had just enough skill position players that if they had better quarterback play, because they went to the AFC Championship game and lost to the Patriots.
Worst thing is they were 2.5 minutes away from making the Super Bowl. If you actually go back and watch that championship game, they actually were very close to winning.
And they had some real.
They had some real what, man? I just came back, but I don't know what it is.
But like when it comes to the Giants, when it came to the Jaguars, I mean, Tom Coughlin knew how to build the culture, and that's something I've always had a lot of respect for Tom Coughlin for, and that's what the Giants just have not had in the post-Tom Coughlin era. The Jaguars, ironically enough, they are not having a culture really ever since Tom Coughlin got fired because he was so tough on the players. Give me a break.
He said Tom was tough, Syracuse and the Giants training camps this offseason. Tom
But I'm
Coughlin is still
saying,
coaching?
but in an off season is different than a whole season, though. Like you can't just build a culture in one off season.
I don't think Tom Coughlin has a job anymore. I mean, he got retired already.
Yeah. Oh, you already know Vegas is cracking this weekend at Allegiant Stadium.
That fight,
Crawford. You already know.
Mondo, did you go?
Yeah.
I don't know if Mondo went, but yeah, a lot
I'm
of people.
just saying, man, that was one heck of a weekend, man.
Yeah, I forget. I didn't know Tom Coughlin was. Is he still? I didn't know he was still coaching. Oh boy. Oh.
So if he's not an executive, then he's what they call a senior assistant or a senior consultant. I mean, that's essentially what.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what they do a lot of times, Josh. Is that they'll hire somebody as like a senior consultant, like one of these like old veterans to be there for a while.
Gotcha. Should we go on to the next one?
I mean, shoot, Dalton's team did that with John Gruden. Like a year after the John Gruden scandal broke with Dan Snyder, they brought him over as a consultant with New Orleans. So,
dang. All right. So NFL week 2. What you got, Ian? You want to talk about it? You want to talk about it a little bit, man?
So if we're going to talk about NFL Week 2, we have to start with the most important game, the game that everybody wants to talk about, and that's the fact that the Green Bay Packers beat the Washington Commanders.
Yes, sir.
And that they are the best team in the NFC, statistically, as of right now.
I'll take it, man. You're only good as your last game, so...
I mean, besides that game, there's no other game we got to talk about. There wasn't a game that happened.
It was a game in Chicago. What was it?
We don't got to talk about that. That game was irrelevant. We're just going to talk about Green Bay and Washington. We're going to talk about that game because that's the game that matters. So,
hey, Brian, you know what it is. And we appreciate you too, man. We appreciate Jerry. Hey, man, I love Jerry Jones, man. That's all I got to say. I love Jerry Jones. There you go. You good, man? You good?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we could talk about his team. I don't know if he wants to talk about it.
Nah, yeah, we got to talk about it. We got to talk about Leggett, man. I don't know, man. Give me some insight about Leggett. Yes, sir. That Packer jersey, that number 1, you know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about it in a minute. Go ahead, bro.
Man, it's
we'll just talk about the whole game.
I don't know, man. I'm at a loss for words. I can't understand how you regress in year 2. You know, I don't get it. I can't. Well, first of all, we don't have no culture. We don't have no identity. Like you said, we need somebody like Tom Coughlin just to build some culture. You know, I think Bryce is too soft. That
boy be fumbling. He gotta stop fumbling, dog.
Yeah, I think he's too soft. He don't really got. He's too soft to be a leader. You know what I'm saying? And if you're the quarterback, you're looked at as the leader. I don't think when we brought Dave Canals in, you know, Dave Canals is our head coach. He worked with Geno out in Seattle, and he worked with Baker down in Tampa. So I think part of what helped him turn both of those guys around was those guys had attitude. So he didn't have to coach an attitude into those guys. You know, so Bryce, you got to kind of he's too nice. You know what I'm saying? Like it's cool to be nice off the field, but on the field, you gotta have some type of attitude. You gotta show that so guys can really believe that you believe in that you confident. But if you all nonchalant and every time you mess up, you got the coach patting you on the back and being soft and mushy with you, and the other guys see that, it's like they not even trying to put in they not even really respecting that. You know what I'm saying? So that's that, you know. And then to go back to what you said about Xavier Leggett, I really don't know what the hell's going on with this dude, man. I think what happened was we just got blown away by what he did at the combine. He's 6'2", 220, ran a 4.39, 4.4.
Oh, he's fast. He's fast.
Yeah. We was just blown away by that. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of times the combine can fool people. You know what I'm saying? You just put on the game tape of what he did at South Carolina. He was at South Carolina 5 years, and the only year he had over 1,000 yards receiving was in his 5th year.
5th.
Yeah, he was at South Carolina 5 years, and the only year he went over 1,000+ yards was in his last year, his 5th year. All those other 4 years, he wasn't even close, not even close to 1,000 yards. So it's almost like a NFL player playing in his contract year. The previous 2-3 years he ain't did shit, but now it's his contract year. He balls out and he gets his money. And now he goes back to what he was not doing 2-3 years prior to his contract year. That's kind of like what Xavier Legette did. He didn't do much in his first 4 years at South Carolina. His 5th year, he balled out so he can get that, up his stock and get to, where you need to be in the NFL. Once he got to the NFL and got the bag, he went back to what he was 3 years before he, balled out in his 5th year. So I think with Legette, because I don't know if y'all read the crazy stat, but he got 8 I think he got 8 receptions. No, he got 8 targets, 4 receptions, and he got -2 yards for the season. Those are his stats in 2 games.
That boy's sad, man. I got to drop. I'm about to drop him. I'm about to drop that dude. That boy is sad.
I don't know, bro. I really don't know. Like, to me, he ain't physical enough. But I think what we need to do with him is we need to try to use him more like a Deebo Samuel, like get him in, get him in motion, get him some jet screens in motion, get him the ball out in space, not so much passing it to him out in space, but getting to him like handoff out in space. But you got to draw that type of stuff up and let him use his size and his speed, and see what he can do with that. But just lining him up outside the numbers as a number 1 or number 2 wide receiver, that ain't working. Like I said, he got -2 yards in 2 games on the season. And a lot of times when it's tight, we can't even play him because he unreliable. He catching the ball out of bounds. He dropping the ball.
Yeah, I like it. I like our tight end, man. Your tight end.
My Sanders.
Sanders.
Davis. Cool. Yeah, but Legette. I don't, and then we traded back into the first round to get. Yeah, we traded back into the first round to get him.
Legette is trash.
I mean, even though we only traded 1 spot back into the first round, but the fact that we traded back into the first round to get him.
Yeah, you never had to trade back into the first round to get him. Hell no.
Yeah, because we could have either had Keon Coleman or Ladd McConkey, and we traded back into the first round.
I could have had Ladd McConkey.
Hey, Ralph, can I tell you the worst part about what you just said?
What was that?
So when you traded back into the first round, you traded with the Buffalo Bills.
Right.
You know who the Bills literally used to draft with that pick?
They drafted Keon Coleman.
Right, because what you did is that you essentially swapped picks. So you went 1 pick up to 32nd, and the Bills went down 1 pick to 33rd.
Right.
So technically, all you did was just swap 1 pick, but you both took receivers. So.
Yeah, I took the worst one.
So, I mean, I don't understand. What did they? It had to be some type of, I don't know, because people fall in the draft all the time. So I'm not gonna say it was something everybody else saw or didn't see, because people fall in the draft all the time. But it just ain't working. If I think this right here, if he don't have a solid. If he don't bounce back and have a solid year 2, because you got to think about this, Ian. We got a lot invested into the offense. We did a whole lot to invest into the offense. We traded with Chicago. I think Chicago had the 9th pick. We had the 9th pick and Chicago had the 1st pick. We traded from 9-1 with the Bears to get Bryce. Right? Then in that trade, we gave up DJ Moore, a receiver that we had paid and wanted to be in Carolina. So we gave up a receiver in that deal just to be in the market for another wide receiver when we had one. Then on top of that, you went and spent all that money on the offensive line. Then you went and traded up to get Xavier Legette. And even when you traded up to get Xavier Legette, he probably the reason why we took Ted McMillan with the A pick. Because if Xavier Legette showed promise his rookie year, like Tech McMillan is showing in his rookie year, we probably would have went with a defensive player with the A pick. Because our defense was historically bad, one of the worst in NFL history. But Xavier Legette wasn't showing promise last year, like Tech McMillan is showing promise so far this year. That's what made us take Tech McMillan with a top 10 pick instead of getting a defensive player or trading back and getting a defensive player. So it's all over the place.
And the one thing I've always said is that when you look back at the trade, right, you gave up 5 picks and DJ Moore.
Right.
And the best pick that's really come from the Bears system is our punter. He's actually been our MVP. And we drafted him in the 5th round, that 5th round pick you gave us. Like, so I hate to say this, Ralph, and this is me being cynical, and this is kind of me being bitter as a Bears fan, mostly because we gave up 52 points to those stupid Detroit Lions. But I can't recall the last time that we had a number 1 draft pick that got traded, and the team took 5 draft picks and really haven't done much with it. I'm thinking about it. Caleb Williams really hasn't been doing much. Tyreek Stevenson, I want him gone. He let up like 3 touchdowns against Detroit yesterday. Troy Taylor, good punter, but that's probably not the best thing when a punter is the best person you drafted. And then we got Darnell Wright, who's our starting tackle, and then we had Luther Burden, who's our receiver. So. I mean, those are the 5 draft picks that we got in the Bryce Young trade.
Yeah. So that was really one of the most pointless trades ever. Nobody did shit. Nobody did shit. We got, I'm thinking that, to be honest with you, I'm thinking more so Dave Canals, our head coach. I don't think Bryce is his guy.
It don't seem like it. No,
he inherited Bryce. He was only brought there because of what he did with Geno Smith in Seattle and Baker in Tampa to do the same thing with Bryce in Carolina. That's the only reason they brought him in. So just like any other D coordinator, they got dreams of being a head coach somewhere. So it was a shitty job for him, but he took it because it was a head coaching job. Now it might not have been the team that he actually wanted, but it was a head coaching job. So Bryce ain't his guy. And like I said, Bryce doesn't have the confidence and he doesn't have the attitude that Baker and Geno had. So Dave Canals didn't have to coach that in Geno and Baker. They already had that in them. See, now you got additional coaching on top of the coaching, trying to coach some confidence into this guy. You would have hoped that when he got benched, that he would have made it his point of emphasis to have confidence coming into this season. It'll look like the same damn thing this season prior to when he got benched last season. No confidence. So a coach at this level shouldn't have to coach confidence in you. Either you got it or you don't at the NFL level. And it seems like they can't open the playbook up for Bryce because he ain't confident and they don't believe in him because he don't believe in himself. So he don't really seem like a Dave Canals type of guy. So Dave Canals probably took this job knowing that he had some type of job security. Because remember now, we fired Frank Wright and we still paying him. We fired Matt Rule and we still paying him. So Dave Canals probably thinking like they can't afford to fire a 3rd coach and pay a 3rd coach on top of paying Frank Wright and Matt Rule. And you will be paying a 4th coach who you give the contract to, who you will have to sign to coach the team. So you'll be paying 4 coaches. 3 of them not coaching with you in the current coach that you hire. So Dave Canals probably looking at some job security from that point and not knowing that Bryce is his guy. I don't think it's nothing that Dave Canals can do with Bryce. I think Bryce will be a serviceable backup because he showed that when he got benched and came back. So that was basically like he came in as if Bryce was the bench, off the bench, as if he was the bench guy and a starter got hurt and he came in and had to fill in. So that basically was kind of like what he did, and he was good at that. So He may have just found himself being a serviceable backup, and Dave Canals probably needs to go and find his quarterback. They just need to chalk it up, take the L on the Bears trade, and say that they fucked up. They shouldn't have did it. It was a bad idea. Cut ties. Just don't be invested in Bryce, because now these quarterbacks is going for 50 and 60 million. You're not pumping 50, 60 million into Bryce, and I'm not giving him 5 years to show me what he's already shown me in the first three. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is he gonna do 2 years from now that he ain't showed you in the first three?
Damn.
So, in other words, you have a Jameis Winston situation where after those first 4 years, you're moving on from him.
I mean, to be honest with you, you probably need to move off of him before then. But if you don't have nothing else available and ready to go, just go ahead and keep him and hope that he can keep getting you good draft picks and you hit on him. That's the only thing you could do at this point, because the Bryce Young experiment it is over. It ain't working. It's over, man. It's
What about
let me ask you this follow-up question. Now, I understand that NFL mock drafts are normally ass. All right, most of the time they really don't have any indication of what's going to happen, especially when it's week 2 of the NFL season. But I want to put this out here: the top 2 projected quarterbacks are Nussmeier from LSU and Manning from Texas. Those are the
Manning's not coming. Manning's not coming out.
He's not. Those are the top 2 projected right now. If
he's not coming
Carolina
out.
is in a position where they have if they have a top 3 pick next year, and there are 2 quarterbacks on the board, does Carolina draft one replace Bryce?
Probably so, yeah.
Y'all could just trade us for Malik Willis, man.
Probably so, yeah. So, I mean, I wouldn't be right now. It's just they just really need to do. To be honest with you, I wouldn't even be mad if Cincinnati called us about Andy Dalton since the Joe Burrow injury. And, send them on and get some type of draft pick back in return, or picks back in return, or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I wouldn't be mad, but yeah, man, the Bryce Young experiment is over. At some point you got to look at the quarterback, because you done changed head coaches, you done brought in an offensive minded guy that has helped 2 guys who you thought it was over for, in Geno and Baker, and he revived them. And he was brought in to do the same to you, and you can't seem to be revived. So at some point it's the quarterback. Everything else around is changing except you, and we still got the same issue. So at some point it's the quarterback.
Hey, Rashad, ain't you glad we ain't got these problems, man?
Oh man, I was just about to say that. Oh my God,
bro, we ain't got these problems,
bro. See, and that
the Bears, the Saints,
bro, it is terrible across the league, and that's why they honestly, bro. Yeah, to be honest, you didn't give Bryce anything to work with. You didn't give him shit.
I'm not counting year one. I'm not counting year one, because he came into a bad situation year one.
He came into a bad organization. Your owner is terrible. He's one of the worst owners in all of football. So in my opinion, bro, you that's why so many of these court. I always tell people this, and you've heard this, but I tell people this, and I like to echo this again. Franchises fail players before players fail franchises. Period. So if you come into it, that's why I always tell people it's not when you go, it's where you go. Because if you go to a dumpster fire, you ain't gonna have shit to work with. It's a dumpster fire. Prime example. Look at Cam Ward. He is ultra talented. It's no denying that. Everything around him is chaos. Everything. His receivers are terrible. His offensive line terrible. He's the number 1 sack quarterback in this league. And if you watch that game the other day against who did they play? The Rams. They played bro. He was dropping dimes. and dudes is dropping the ball. And he's
Right.
running for his life trying to make something out of nothing. That I'm telling you, bro, like it's a reason why you're picked number one overall, and it's a reason why you go to these dumpster fire franchises. Not to knock your fandom, bro. I know you're a Carolina Panthers fan, but y'all been a dumpster fire since Cam Newton exit that building. Y'all ain't been good since.
No, we haven't.
So, bro, at the end of the day,
He said
dude.
no, yeah.
No,
I
we
mean, I'm
haven't.
just keeping it a buck, and Dalton, I keep it 100 with Dalton. Saints ain't been good either, bruh, since
Yep.
Drew Brees exited. So again, you draft quarterbacks when you don't need one. That's when you always draft a quarterback when you don't need one. Granted, nobody has a situation like the Green Bay Packers. A lot of people don't have that kind of situation. Just like a lot of people don't have the situation Atlanta had. Atlanta did the right thing of drafting Penix when they had Cousins. And they sat Penix for a year. And they start building around Penix. That's why Penix is looking pretty damn good so far. It's
But
just my thing is, bro, it's you bring in another quarterback and then what? You still got the same bullshit. You don't have a legit offensive line. Who's your receivers outside of the young kid you drafted?
We were just talking about that.
Nobody.
well,
You
let
don't
me.
have. There's nobody to work with.
I
Well,
mean,
let me.
Hunter Renfro did have 2 touchdowns yesterday, but
Let me go
He
back
said
and
Hunter
say
Renfro.
this, because I don't think I said this, or if I did, I don't think you might not be on. If I did say it, we had a chance to turn it around when we fired Matt Rule and our interim coach, Steve Wilkes at the time was they made him the interim coach for the rest of the season. He brought us back within he brought us back within one game of winning the division. It came down to the final game at Tampa Bay. Like the
Oh yeah,
morale of
yeah,
the
yeah. I
team
remember that.
changed. Like everybody
Dion.
rallied around that guy, and you could tell that he had guys that was actually playing for him. But our owner didn't offer him the coaching job. He wanted the coaching job. The owner did not even offer him the coaching job after he turned the team around after firing Matt Rule. So I would have
Wilkes,
rather
right?
them hired Steve Wilkes, who was already in house, who already had a defensive minded, and just built the offense off of, and you already had a defensive minded guy who had defensive players there. You know what I'm saying? And then you could just focus and build on the offense, and we wouldn't be in this mess. You know what I'm saying? But instead, you went and got a whole all ass Frank Wright. You brought him in. He didn't last. You fired him, and now you paying Frank Wright just like you still paying Matt Rule.
And I
You
heard
know,
I heard they didn't even want Bryce Young. I heard who else
the
came out
owner's
that
wife.
draft?
CJ
it was
That
Stroud.
was
CJ
C.J.
Stroud.
Stroud.
That's who they wanted. That Frank
The
Wright
owner's
wanted.
wife.
Frank Wright wanted CJ Stroud and not
Right.
Bryce Young.
Right.
And of course, that's the problem when you have owners that try to act like they know football. You don't know football, you idiots. You only know business. That's it. You don't know the game. Let coaches coach and you sign the checks. You know what I'm saying? So like that's what I'm saying. And here's the thing: if CJ Stroud goes to Carolina, we don't know if CJ Stroud is as good as he is. Because if he goes to Carolina, he still has nothing to work with. That's what I'm saying. He went to where he was supposed to go to. Thank God, because he got receivers over there. He got a nice little offensive line. He got a running back. He got a good OC. That it matters. He has structure over there with D'Amico Ryans. It's just it matters where you go. And I honestly, bro, right now Carolina, the cover is bare, bro. You guys have nothing to work with over there.
But see, the thing is, a lot of people don't watch Carolina. So when they say certain things, they look at the highlight reel.
Right, right.
But
I
a
don't.
but but a lot of times you know, and you wasn't on, you hadn't came on yet, but I had said this prior to you coming on. Bryce don't have confidence.
No,
So you as the quarterback, you are the leader. So you gotta display confidence if you want guys to follow suit. You see what I'm
but
saying?
and I
But
get
when
it, but
you
it's hard to have confidence when his confidence was broken year one.
now I get year one. I'm not counting year one because year one was a mess. We had nothing. But
It's
last
still a
year,
mess. That's what I'm
it's still
saying,
a mess
bro.
now. But what I'm saying is year two, when he sat down and he got benched, and then he came back and played better, we were hoping that he build off of that coming into this season and start the season with two winnable games, Jacksonville and Arizona, and you lose them both. And people look at the stats from yesterday's game and say, well, he threw for 300 yards. But we were down 27-9. Those yards he threw for came when Arizona was playing prevent coverage, giving them everything underneath.
And I
And
get
he ate
that.
a chunk of those yards up.
And I
So a
get
lot
that.
of that stuff was he I'm not saying it's all Bryce's fault, but as the quarterback, you're gonna get the blame. He put us in a hole. We not the team that's built to come from behind. We not a quick striking team. We don't have a high powered offensive attack. Our defense is horrible. So you can't help other teams out by turning the ball over twice in the first quarter and being down 14, 20 points. Because we're not built to come from behind. If we got any chance to win games, we got to keep the game tight or maintain a small. And we can't do that when you turn the ball over and then you want to get better late in the game when we down by 20. You know what I'm saying? You're not getting better down by 20. It's more so the team just playing prevent defense, keeping everything in front of them. You just racking up yards or whatever. You might get a garbage time because we got a garbage time touchdown last week in Jacksonville, and we had a pick six call back for a defensive holding. Other than that, it would have been 30-3 instead of 26-10. So
And I get that, but I mean, if you move on from Bryce, granted, cool. Whoever you draft in there, if you don't surround him, it's not like if you draft a new quarterback, he's gonna come into a better situation. He's not,
no, no.
because you
Right
you
now,
don't you don't have anything for anyone to work with.
right now, what I would rather for them to do
Mondo.
is I would rather for them to pick an area and build that area up and just get a veteran quarterback to bridge you until you get in a better
Cold-blooded.
situation for a young quarterback.
That or the smart thing to do is get a veteran, build some shit, draft for quarterback next year, and have him sit for like at least 2 years, and have him learn and be patient. But
I would
again,
I would rather do that. I would much
again,
rather
Tepper, your owner or whatever his name is, I think it's Tepper or some shit like that.
David Tepper.
David Tepper.
Tepper, he's too delusional and impatient. So
He
like,
too hands on.
and that's what's
It's
killing y'all.
that Jerry effect.
It's
Hey,
killing y'all.
Because to be honest with you, we done turned into the NFC version of the Cleveland Browns. I mean,
Facts.
that's just what we done turned into.
Facts.
I mean, damn. Ever since Jared Richardson had to sell the team, and well, he dead now. He died a few years ago. But ever since then, we ain't been shit. Like
Nope.
we been. I mean, like what
It's
the
been
hell
bad.
did we? I mean, from what we was to what we at now, how the hell did we just
Ralph,
fall that far?
Yeah,
I mean,
that
Ralph,
Super Bowl's been downhill.
not to clown on your team even more, but if we're going to be honest, Super Bowl 50, you haven't been the same since.
I was
Yeah.
about to
That's
say,
what
right after the
we
Super
talking
Bowl's
about.
been over
Like
with.
Cam Newton's Super Bowl 50 ended, Carolina has not been the same since.
Nope.
That's what I'm saying. Like where did we go? And
Hey, hopefully, y'all get better from here, man.
Like that's been a full
Well,
decade, by
yeah.
the way. That's a
Yeah,
full
I know.
10
Yeah,
Which
years.
is crazy.
It's been a minute.
That's crazy. It's been a
and that
decade.
year, that year Cam hit it. I think T.J. Watt hit him in the shoulder, and that's really where it turned. You know what I mean? Cam wasn't the same then. He couldn't throw the ball 20 yards, 15 yards down the field, and people knew it. And they wouldn't sit Cam. They still had him out there, and he was looking worse.
Dalton, what's up with the Spencer Rattler experiment? You loving it over there?
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna put the blame on him. Do I think he needs to work on some? Yes, though. But like the receivers, like Chris Olave, he's been dropping balls. like I don't think he's a number one receiver. That's my opinion, though. Juwan Johnson keeps dropping the ball. He's not it. O-line, like they're not getting together though. Kamara's getting gold. All he does is run the middle. And Rashad's telling the truth though. We haven't found a quarterback since Drew Brees left. I mean, I agree with him on that one. Another problem that no one is talking about is the Gail Benson, the owner. She's not it though. She doesn't care. Like she just doesn't know what she's doing though. The only reason why she became the owner because her husband died back in 2018, I believe. I can't remember what year. And Mickey Loomis, he's been overpaying the old veterans though. Like,
Is Mickey Loomis the owner or is he the GM?
Mickey Loomis is the GM.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right now, Gail Benson cares more about trying to sell the NBA team than she does about the NFL team. I mean, we're just gonna be 100% honest.
That's crazy. Bro.
Hey, y'all looking at a couple owners right here, you know what I'm saying? We own 2-0 team right here, baby, you know what I'm saying?
Here we go. Don't start that.
But no, I mean they're right. I mean, it's just tough, bro. It's tough when you that's why I completely understood what Atlanta did a year ago when they drafted Penix. It made so much. I know they got a lot of slack for that because they had signed Cousins, but I was like, dude, it makes so much sense when you throw these young quarterbacks into the fire right away. More times than not, they don't work out. They don't. They just don't, bro.
But hold on, Rashad. Hold on. But here's the issue that the Kirk Cousins, Michael Penix situation was. The problem wasn't that they went and got Kirk Cousins and then they drafted Michael Penix. What the issue was how much money they gave Kirk Cousins.
And that's cool.
Then they drafted Michael Penix.
And that's great, bro. I don't care how much money I give a quarterback. I don't care. To me, that it's a quarterback, the quarterback position, you always have to have an insurance policy, regardless. Because it's the most important position in all of sports. So I don't care how much I have to pay for that. I'm going to do it. But in return, you draft a quarterback when you don't need one. And that's exactly what they did. And that's why they are set up the way they are right now. Because when
you said most important, you're talking about most valuable, right?
It's the most valuable position in all of sports, bro. So to me, you like y'all saw last night on Sunday Night Football, you saw Kirk Cousins on the sideline chilling, and he gonna stay on that sideline because that's my insurance policy. At the end of the day, that's my insurance policy because if Penix get hurt, I got a veteran to come right in. I don't care how much I paid him.
I mean, where all I'm gonna say is when you pay somebody $180 million,
and I get that,
just to draft a quarterback 1 month later.
Yeah,
that's why the whole thing didn't make sense.
And I get that. To me, it didn't make sense to others. Oh, it made sense to me. It made perfect sense to me because I know how valuable that position is. Because you're talking to a Packer fan. You're talking to a dude that has seen it. A guy that drafts. We've draft quarterbacks when we just paid Rodgers. We had Love in 2020 and paid Rodgers and gave Rodgers a fat ass contract.
But you didn't give it to him a month before. That's what I'm saying.
It don't matter, but the fact that
didn't make sense.
But the fact that we gave it to him, regardless, though, the fact that we gave it to him when we just drafted a first round pick at quarterback a year or two ago is still crazy as fuck.
Okay.
Right. It's still crazy, bro, because you literally just gave this dude $100 million 2 years after you drafted a first round quarterback. But what does that tell me? It tells me you're invested in that position, and you always have to have an insurance policy. Prime example, Joe Burrow. Look at what the fuck they are over there.
Good segue, Shotty Guy.
Wait, hold on. Speaking of which, I think we got a Bengals fan in the show.
Toe Burrow, you here?
Toe Burrow. Oh, damn. What's cracking? Did y'all hear me?
Yeah,
we hear you loud and clear. We want to hear about Toe Burrow.
Yeah, Toe Burrow, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? You know what I mean? Offensive line, everyone's going to point to the offensive line. It's week 2. There's going to be a lot of offensive lines that aren't up to par right now. It's just one of those things. Just like the dude is like a chronic freak injury quarterback. I mean, I'm not gonna
Facts.
blame the offensive. I'm not gonna blame the offensive line. It's his body, bro. Like it is what it is. But you guys talk about insurance policies for quarterbacks. I mean, we got the best insurance policy for the cheapness that our owner is. We got Jake Browning, who's been in the system with Zach Taylor for 3 years. I mean, so people are talking about go get Winston. People are talking about go get Willis from the Packers. I mean, Willis might be. I kind of like that idea just because he brings a different tone, a different kind of quarterback. Because this offense that we run under Joe Burrow, it's not going to be able to run under Jake Browning. We can't run the ball good. Our offensive line is near the bottom in pass protection, and this whole offense runs around passing the football. So we're 2-0 right now. Joe Burrow's gonna be out 3 months. Slim chance he comes back at the end of the year. Uh, but if you're a Bengals fan like me, honestly, like all our hopes. I think not even a Bengals fan. If you're just knowledgeable of football, all the Bengals' hopes ride in Joe Burrow. The coaching staff is under. They're under par. The coaching staff sucks. This whole thing rides through Joe. So our
I
best case
mean,
scenario is
what I'm going to say is, though, Joe Burrow is projected to come back week 15. Now, what the Bengals' win-loss record is going to be by week 15 is probably going to determine if he actually gets on the field or not. But
yeah,
still,
but
week 15 is his projected to return. So
this is the thing. It's the Cincinnati Bengals, not the Cincinnati Joe Burrows. As much as what I just said, the Cincinnati Joe Burrows, everything runs around Joe Burrow. It's the Cincinnati Bengals, and if this team cannot figure it out without Joe Burrow, this coaching staff's got to be fired. GM, we don't even got a GM, but the guy that we have acting as a GM has to be fired. This team's got to figure it out because there's no excuses. I mean, we paid the
okay,
offensive weapon. We paid the offensive weapons. We didn't do enough on the offensive line, and we didn't do enough on the defense. So if you can't do it without Joe Burrow, everything that everybody's been saying is going to come to fruition, and that defense ain't going to hold up, and that offensive line ain't going to hold up, and that's not a good enough excuse because this is year 3, 4 without playoffs. It's just no excuses.
okay. So, hell, before I pass it over to Ralph, since it's his show, by the way, but when it comes to Joe Burrow, let's just say week 15, everything rehab goes accordingly as planned. If the Bengals are 6-8, or let's just say that they are 7-7, does Joe Burrow come back, or what's the situation there?
No, you only come back if you have a shot at the playoffs. And honestly, I'm looking outside of Joe Burrow. I'm looking at the team as a whole. I honestly don't have that much faith as a playoff contender with the team right now. So what I'm thinking right now is I'm going to be looking at contenders to be trading Trey Hendrickson at the deadline to get returned back. I'm looking to make this team better for next year because why? Also, like turf toe could be a lingering injury. So if you try and come back too early and now it's affecting your career, I mean, Joe, this whole thing runs around Joe. So just if it comes to that, call it season to wash, trade Trey Hendrickson, and start focusing on draft capital for next year. Start focusing on next year. You know what I mean? He's got a good 5, 6 years in his career left, so it doesn't all have to happen now. As much as every year, every single team wants to win the Super Bowl, sometimes the cards don't stack that way. Sometimes you can't predict injuries or you can't predict this. So you got to do the best. You
No,
can't just throw the whole season away, but you also
true.
got to look towards the future. So
But
we got to try
but
and
you
win these.
but I will say this though. You saw this from a mile away that the sense that I didn't believe in y'all before the season because the trenches in Cincy are terrible.
It's honestly not a personnel thing. It's got to be a coaching thing because we have an average offensive line. It's not as bad as 29 pass protection, which we're ranked. We have guys that can get the job done. I just don't understand how these guys can't. The scheme is like ass. Like last year, the defensive scheme was ass. This year, I think the defensive scheme would be a little bit better. I think we'll be around 20 range. I'm not gonna say we're gonna be a top defense. I think we'll be around 20 range. But this offensive line, they got guys, but they just can't get the job done. And so it makes me point to scheme. We have a new offensive coordinator. It's week 2. There's a lot of offenses that are going to take a couple weeks to get going, but now we don't have a quarterback. So
And I
it's
get
very
that.
bleak.
I believe to me the O line when you here's the thing when you invest over 300 million damn near and just 2 receivers and a quarterback, you have a problem.
Yeah.
Well,
You
I
have a
mean,
problem, bro. You got a
yeah,
problem
but
because
I mean,
because
If you don't pay the receiver,
because at the end of the day, I understood paying Chase. I understood paying Burrow. You let Higgins walk and you invest all of that money in your O line because you have to keep Burrow upright. You have to keep him
but the
upright,
thing,
bro.
in theory, yes, that makes sense. But it's more than just invest in the O line. You got to look at the free agent class. I mean, the names weren't out there. The guys to help the offensive line, what are we going to throw like 10, I mean, like 15, 16 million at an average player? No, we'd rather keep our elite wide receiver because we're not going to get better on the offensive line by just, paying average players. There's nobody out there that we could invest that money in. You know what I mean? So,
I don't
like in
know.
theory, everyone's right. Yeah, invest in the O line, but there's only so much you could do. You got to make decisions. You know what I mean? And once Joe Burrow goes down, now you will see all the flaws of the Cincinnati Bengals because he covers so many of them. But it's no excuses. It's a football team. It takes 53.
But
One
and
is
you're
more
right.
important than
But
most.
and you're
Yeah.
right. You are right about that. But as a collective team, you guys haven't invested well in the positions you needed to invest in.
Well, you know what?
That's what I'm saying.
No, they have invested. They have spent second round picks, first round pick. They have not invested right. They have done the. Sometimes you make bad investments. Sometimes you buy the car and it breaks down a week. They have made the investments, second round picks, first round picks, and they're just not panning out. So then it makes me question. It's got to be coaching. So if we're putting the money, we're putting the draft picks towards offensive line, and it's still not coming together, then it makes you think it's coaching.
I
And
get
and
that
I
too. You're right.
yeah.
I get
So,
that.
but I mean, it is what it is. So we're going to see what this Bengals team is. I honestly think this team without Joe Burrow is, if we're doing a full season, I would call them a 7-win team without Joe Burrow. With Joe Burrow, I give them 10 wins, and we got to see. And if they don't make the playoffs, there's no excuses. But you did say the quarterback is the most important position in
Facts.
sports. 100% right, and you're going to find that out. Everyone's going to find that out, but everyone knows that with the Cincinnati Bengals. So,
Well, but a lot of people seem like they don't. But hey, it is what it
well,
is. I mean, all I'm saying is, bro, you got to invest in the trenches when you got your franchise quarterback, and you got to and we know we always say like the draft is the ultimate crapshoot, right? It's like hitting the lotto. Like you don't know how a lot of these players are going to pan out, and player development is so important. So it's like you just don't know, but. I mean, I just didn't see Cincy really, even with Joe Burrow, I really didn't see Cincy being a major threat because the trenches for you guys are not, in my opinion, looking at Cincy, it just wasn't good. The investment, it wasn't there. Well, like you said, the investment was there, but the player development wasn't there. There's no one on that defense on the other side of the ball that I'm scared of other than Hendrickson. That's it, and he's a game
yeah,
wrecker. But
Stone is.
outside of that, I'm not. And then you got T.J. Slayton now at D tackle, and he was one of the best run defenders in all of football last year. But there's no one else I'm like scared of on
Yeah, I
that
like
on
I
that
but
like
side.
I like Gino, I like Stone, but yeah, he ain't no game changer. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
No,
Stone
but
is.
that's the thing.
Hendrickson is a game changer.
Oh yeah,
Hendrickson is a
Hendrickson is a
game
game changer.
changer.
But
So
that's the
like,
thing. These teams that play analytics, they're like, okay, let's go get T.J. Slayton. I mean, I'm not gonna take anything away from T.J. Slayton, one of the best run defenders, but it's T.J. Slayton. Like, come on now, he's a good run defender, but he's not moving the needle. Like these teams play analytics, so sometimes you just gotta go find a dude. Like, okay, this dude's a dude, and that's why so many teams like missing the draft because they don't just see like, oh, this guy's a dude. He played football. They're like, oh, he ran the 40 like this. He did this many reps. Three cone like this. Like,
right.
just find the fucking dude. It's all you gotta do. Like, it's
Well,
not that
you got a
hard.
dude. You have a dude, which is
We have one
Hendrickson. But
dude. We got one dude. It takes
right,
11.
but it takes it's player development though. You got to draft and
Yeah.
develop. You have to have a
And so
great draft and develop program. And if you
and so what is
don't,
that?
you know,
That's coaching. That's coaching. And that
yeah,
so we gotta see what the coaching staff does. I mean, I honestly like the defensive coordinator we got, but it's coaching. It's the guys that make the picks. So this is the turning point. Like, hey, what are you guys gonna do with what you got here without Joe? If you can't
right,
get it done, that's my
right,
thoughts.
yeah, I agree. I mean,
But
you're a
without Joe
Bengals
Burrow,
fan, so I mean, you're a
yeah,
Bengals
yeah,
fan, so you know, bro, like you know your team like better than
yeah,
anyone. So I get it.
yeah.
So
But you know what? Now that the Bengals don't got Joe Burrow no more, we can just move on because we spent too much talking. If they got Joe Burrow, we can talk about the Bengals all day. But without Joe Burrow, we got to move on. We got to segue off the Bengals because I'm gonna start crying.
So,
I'm gonna
Ralph,
so it's safe to say that y'all about to be heavily invested in free agency, in the draft, in offensive linemen.
Well, it depends. I think we need a new coach. Honestly, I think it's the coaching. You know
So
what I want? My dream scenario has been the same dream scenario for 3 years. It'd be fire Zach Taylor, go get Joe Brady from the Bills. Bills
Oh,
offense
from the
coordinator now.
Bills, yeah. Mm-hmm.
He was at
of
LSU
course.
with Chase and Burrow. It wouldn't be a hard transition to go from an offensive coach to an offensive coach, and then go get a grizzled defensive coordinator. So that's always been my
Yeah,
thought process.
Yeah.
I agree with
yeah, I
everybody.
mean that ain't. I wouldn't be mad at that. But I think y'all now about to
Car-
be heavily invested into O linemen.
So who do you think?
yeah.
Because we wanted Hendrickson, but I don't know. I mean, I know other teams y'all still could get off Hendrickson, but I don't know what
Yeah,
y'all gonna do for him.
you might as well go ahead and trade Henderson because you're not gonna have
Well,
him
that's what I'm
after
saying.
this season anyway.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Make the trade. There's gonna be injuries that happen. Someone's gonna get hurt on a contender. I mean, the first round pick they want is out the question. Just go get a second round pick, get a third round pick, get a third round pick and a young player. Just get something because once he walks next year and you get nothing for him, well, you'll get a compensatory pick in 2027. But our window is every year that Joe Burrow gets older, the window closes because everything revolves around Joe.
Dallas gonna flip one of those first round picks and get Hendrickson. Watch, Jerry gonna try to come back and get Hendrickson. I can see it happening.
But Carolina, yeah, they need a quarterback. They need to
Yeah,
switch it up on Price because they got the offensive line in Carolina is not that bad. I mean, they've played bad, but they've got some guys too. Um, they tried to get receivers. I don't like Leggett. I don't like him really much at all. I mean, maybe I'll try some raccoon off a suggestion, but
nah,
outside of that, Ted McMillan's a solid wide receiver, but I just don't think Bryce is the dude. They need to go find somebody out there.
yeah. I mean,
Hey,
that's what I be trying to tell. I be trying to tell people when they try to tell me, well, he threw for 300 yards. I'm like, he threw for 300 yards because we were down 27-9 in the fourth quarter, and Arizona was playing prevent defense, and he was dinking and dunking down the field. And then he
If he
just
threw,
find one wide open guy and got a garbage touchdown in Chuba Hubbard. But I'm saying a
I
lot of
guarantee,
times
yeah,
those stats don't be what it is. Like when you down as much as we are down, how often we are down, we have no choice but to throw the ball. So you really are gonna rack up some garbage yards on a defense that's playing prevent. You see what I'm saying?
of
So
course, yeah,
hey,
we
that's
yeah.
good
not we
old.
not
That's what
we
Philip
not
Rivers
he.
did for
It's not
15
like
Yeah, I
he's
could get.
racking up these yards when it matters. Shit, it matters when we in the game. It don't
What?
even matter when we down by 21 with a quarter left to go. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all might as
So
well. Y'all
But
might as well wait for Caleb to get dropped by the Bears and get him.
no,
no, I
no.
think Carolina.
What
I think Carolina get about 6 wins. The Saints. I see up there, Dalton. Saints. They've always been my number one pick from the beginning, and I've told you Nussmeier's gonna be the number one pick because you go look at the offense coordinator. What's his last name?
Nussmeier.
Nussmeier. Nussmeier's going
Hey,
to the Saints up there in the Bears. It's a complex scheme. The Bears have under achieved from my standpoint in the beginning of the season, but it's a complicated offensive scheme that's going to take time. And Dan Campbell came with a purpose last week because everyone's saying them coordinators left, and you can't get it done. Lost week one, he had something to prove against the Bears, and that's why he ran up the score.
It
But
was
the Bears are
personal,
going to be
huh?
okay. Yeah, I mean the Bears are going to be okay. They're gonna pick it up midseason.
You
I,
think that's true? Is
I
that
no
mean,
true,
what
Ian?
hey,
I think
Blaze.
so.
Hey, you know what, Blaze? You got more confidence and more hope and expectations for my team than I do.
I thought y'all was gonna be better. I ain't gonna lie. I thought y'all was gonna be
I
better.
I had the Bears winning 7 games this year.
I thought Bears
That
were
was
going to
it.
be
I had
better.
7-10 was my
I,
expectation for the
I,
Bears.
I had y'all coming in third place, but
Yeah,
I
I
I
had
had
still think
Bears
y'all
going
beat.
to
I
second
think y'all
place.
beat Vikings next game, but
And
I
honestly, the
didn't
two
see this
best
man.
quarterbacks in the NFL
Yep.
draft next year are Sellers from South Carolina and Newsmeyer from LSU. Those are the top two.
Yeah, Sellers got a concussion. He got pulled from the game this week. He's a beast though.
Yeah.
The only
Uh,
thing about Sellers that I'm really concerned about is like he's a dual threat, but once you get to the NFL and they kind of neutralize your legs and they make you use your arm to beat him, can he really use his arm like to beat a team? Because to be honest
Yeah,
with you, so far that South Carolina offense, they ain't look good. They ain't look good at all.
he's still a young quarterback though, so I don't think he should come out this year. I think he should
I
do
think he
this
should wait
year.
next year.
I think he should wait another year. So, um, but I think he can't. It's about. I think it's more the mind. I think the decision making. What I've watched him because I've watched all 3 games. He got hurt the last game, but what I've seen is like just his decision making, and that decision making when it translates to NFL, he's already a tick slow, and it's not going to translate well. So he needs more time. He needs more reps. Um,
So
because
so
you're
he
right.
will
You're right.
be so he will be like it'll be a perfect situation for him to go somewhere where they already got a vet and he sit maybe 1 or 2 years.
I think Carolina is the right spot. I think the Carolina Panthers because he reminds me of Cam Newton. He just needs more seasoning. That's it.
I would take Sellers, but I will only take Sellers if we got a veteran quarterback that's gonna be starting for a year. I don't want to be in this same boat again, throwing a rookie out there and is not panning out because he a rookie, and then we, right back in the same thing. I would take
And,
Sellers, but I want a vet to be starting so he can sit behind for like a
all
year.
right,
You know what I'm saying?
all right. So book it. Jameis Winston starter. Carolina next year. Sellers backup. There it is. You
No,
heard
I
it here
mean,
first. Yeah,
I
Jameis
would I
Winston.
would take I would keep Andy Dalton and just let him start the season. He a vet, and whatever our record be, it ain't gonna be. It's not like we're gonna be pushing a playoff contender. So we still gonna be probably picking, in the top 12. You know what I'm saying? That's good enough to add another piece to the team. That's enough to get us to another free agency so we can add proven players to the team, not just through the draft, but proven players to the team. And then once we get Lenore Sellers in, he will have something to work with. He will have veteran players. It won't be a young team. You know what I'm saying? He'll have some veteran players at some key positions, and he'll be done set a year behind a quarterback with an offensive minded coach.
I will say this. I will say this. Before I popped on the show, I was watching the show, and you said one thing that really translated to my soul. When you said Carolina is a Cleveland Browns of NFC, I truly believe that because it's more than getting a quarterback. It's more. You guys need a lot. It's just like I
Yeah.
don't even know where to start with Carolina.
See, what Carolina did is they went and got a bunch of well, first of all, we run the 3-4. I don't like the 3-4. So we don't have the linebackers for 3-4 defense. So what we did is we went and got a bunch of backups to play with backups. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody kept saying, well, y'all got a lot of depth or whatever. The depth we got are backup pieces, and the starters we got are backups that will be backups on other teams. So you just went and got a bunch of backups to try to make them starters. We got no game changer on the defensive side of the ball whatsoever. Well, outside of J.C. Horn, the only adjustment we made on defense is now J.C. Horn travels. Last year he didn't travel with the ones. Now he's traveling. So that's the only adjustment we made, and that's the only game changer type player we got on the defensive side of the ball. But we got nobody up front that can change the game. We got Derek Brown, but he coming off a torn. I think he tore a muscle in his shoulder or something. He missed all of last season, so he getting back in. But he has nobody else like that can get after the quarterback that can make his game really what it is. You know what I'm saying? So we don't have no game. We just got a bunch of role players. We went and got a bunch of role players and journeymen and trying to make that work. Like at some point, you got to spend the money and get a proven player at a key position, and
Well, that's
then
what
you
New
can
England.
put.
Oh, sorry. Continue.
Go ahead. And then I was about to say, then you could kind of go from there with depth pieces, but you don't
Yeah.
have a proven player at a key position that can do that yet.
Nah. Yeah. What you said, I feel the same way about New England in the offseason. They went and got a bunch of guys. Like they spent a bunch of money, but I don't think they really got any guys. And so yeah, they got a big win against Miami this week, but I think both teams are trash. So
Yeah, we got a bunch of guys that wasn't. It was just guys to fill the roster. They wasn't no like everybody that we play, they attack the middle of the field because we don't have linebackers that can cover. Now I wouldn't mind getting Harold Perkins out of LSU. We need a linebacker that can play both the run and the pass. And that's what I was saying about Xavier Legette. If Xavier Legette was really that guy and showed promise last year, like Tech McMillan is showing this year, we wouldn't have drafted Tech. We would have not drafted Tech McMillan with the 8th pick. We would have went with a defensive player because we historically had one of the worst defenses in NFL history last year. But Xavier Legette not showing promise like he's like a first rounder supposed to made us get Legette with the 8th pick. Had he showed promise, we wouldn't have not got Tech McMillan. We would have took a defensive guy, or we would have traded back and still took a defensive guy and got a wide receiver later on in the draft at some point, not with the 8th pick. But
Well,
Xavier Legette,
yeah.
he didn't show promise, so that forced us to get a number 1 wide receiver because he didn't show that he could possibly even show any signs of being a number 1 receiver.
He can't. He's not good. He's like a 4th round grade receiver with a top 10 athleticism score. He's not a good receiver. He's not. I mean, Ted's solid, but y'all made a mistake on that pick. Y'all traded back in the first, up in the first round to get him. It's because he was a hometown kid. You had storylines and stuff like that. Trying to like shake the draft a little bit. The owner's shitty. You guys talked about it earlier. The owner's shitty. He tries to dabble too much. You guys are got a mess over there. You guys got to fix a lot.
Jerry Jones Jr.
We don't even got enough show to talk about that, and y'all talked about it earlier.
Nah,
so.
we don't, bro. You need a whole. You just need a whole show and segment dedicated to that. We can't even put that into a segment. You need a whole show dedicated to that. I mean, and then the owner got the nerve to go up on the prices. Like people didn't want to pay to see that shit at the price you had it at. The hell you go up on the price for?
Oh yeah, because you went to the game, huh? Or last week?
I went. I went to Jacksonville. But that price wasn't that game, that ticket wasn't high. But the home games in Charlotte, the owner went up he did a price increase. I don't know why the hell he did a price increase when people didn't want to pay to see that shit show last year at the price he had it at. So I don't know, bro. We just got a whole, you know what I wish, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but I wish they find some type of sexual or racial allegations on this guy so he can sell the team and we could start over.
I thought they did though.
Like the Clippers, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
I hope it's some type of scandal he in that we don't know about that come out and he forced to sell the team, because that's the only way we gonna turn this around.
David Teppercott eating Xavier Legette's ass, something like that.
Yeah, because that's how he even got the team. It was some type of sexual allegation that came out about Jerry Richardson, and he sold the team. And then a few years after selling the team, he died.
Damn.
So that's how Temple even got the team. Some allegations came out about Jerry Richardson, and he went ahead and sold the team.
I think the NFL should have contracts on owners. Like, it's always going to be a business that makes money. The NFL. I think they need to have contracts on owners. Like, if you don't get this certain threshold, you got to go. Like, you got to go, because there's so many billionaires, trillionaires out there that will own an NFL team. But if you ain't getting it done, you know what I mean? Let's keep it competitive.
I know before y'all go, y'all think I know JD been saying it a lot that Baker Mayfield a top 5 quarterback. I got him as a top 5 quarterback right now. Baker Mayfield.
With Toe Burrow out, I have to put him at like 7.
You still got Burrow top 3?
I mean, right now he's out, so he's on the back of the bus.
Oh, you said Baker 7 or 7-ish?
Yeah, I got Baker around 7-ish. Yeah.
Dalton.
You talking like right now?
Yeah, right now.
Man, this is tough. Not particularly order, though. I would have put like Josh Allen, Daniel Jones.
Daniel Jones.
That ain't my order. I'm just putting
Indiana.
Justin
I
Herbert.
mean, Daniel Ballin, he got a point.
Nah, they call him Indiana Jones though. I like.
I'm not sold. I'm not sold.
You not sold on Indiana?
Like 5 or 6.
Indianapolis. 5 or 6.
I'm not sold.
You not sold on the Colts? That's what we talked about earlier. You not sold on
No, definitely not sold on the Colts. Not sold on the Broncos either.
Am I sold on the coach? No, but I'm sold on the coaching staff. Frank Wright. Not Frank Wright, but what's his? Yeah,
Frank
I'm
Steichen.
sold on Steichen. Yeah, I'm sold on him for sure. So I'm sold on them for sure.
You got Baker Mayfield top 5 right now?
Top 5 right.
Yeah, I mean, considering that I had him leading the NFL in passing yards when I did our predictions beginning of the year, I got him at number 5. So
Yeah, JD
Yeah,
got
I
him
mean,
at 5 too. I was seeing.
Yeah.
Has anybody got score that game right
Shy, you
now?
got him at 5.
Yeah, they
It's
said
yeah, they
it's
playing. They
40 right
playing. They
now.
playing right now.
it's 14-10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, 14-10 still.
20-yard line. Haven't scored yet. So
Who driving? Who driving?
Tampa Bay is a 20-yard line. Houston's they're 20-yard line.
Buccaneers kicker's about to make a field goal.
So is McCarthy?
He missed.
JJ McCarthy hurt?
McCarthy got hurt.
Yeah,
McCarthy's out. Carson Wentz is in, baby. Carson Wentz.
Okay.
And by the way, Blaze, shout out to your team because next week we are going to have one of the greatest quarterback matchups of all time next week. We have Jake Browning in this corner. We have Carson Wentz in this corner. It's going to be one of the greatest quarterback matchups we've ever seen, for sure.
By the way, I do got a question now. Who's the other quarterback for the Bengals besides Jake Browning?
That's about it, man. That's about Jake
Because the
Browning.
reason why, because if I'm the Bengals, I guess the owner, I don't know who makes the decision, like call for trades, maybe ask for James Winston or Drew Lock, some veteran quarterbacks. Because I don't think Jake Browning is the franchise. He's more like a backup, though. I think they need another quarterback.
I mean, I'll say Jake Browning. They have Brett Ripon. I mean, he's their third-string quarterback. That's about it.
Oh, I forgot about him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Blaze is having difficulties just like his team, but I'm good with my team, man. 2-0.
Man, I
on
ain't-
to Cleveland Browns.
We hoeing too.
And her Jayden Daniels got hurt.
Y'all 1-1 though, right?
Nah, we hoeing
Panthers
too.
1-1.
Nah, Carolina's
y'all lost?
0-2. New Orleans is
We lost
0-2. Bears are
Yeah,
0-2.
we lost to Jacksonville and Arizona, and then we about to lose Sunday. We play Atlanta. We
thought
about to
y'all-
lose Sunday.
27-22. I thought. Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, we about to be 0-3.
Oh man, Carolina 2. I mean, not Carolina, but Cardinals 2-0. Okay.
And hey, when
What was your-
Cincinnati
what
when
was your-
Cincinnati
Cardinals win
goes
the division.
3-0, and when
Yeah, I know.
Cincinnati goes 3-0 with Jake Browning winning over Minnesota, that's gonna be interesting right there.
Czar said y'all set. Czar said y'all
Minnesota's
lit.
not good. Minnesota's not good.
Yeah, Minnesota's
Czar
not
said
good.
y'all
That's why
said-
Cincinnati's
I
gonna be
took the
3-0.
Vikings step back anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
Czar think Browning.
Honestly, I wish. Well, he's been in the system for 3 years. I mean,
Well,
there's a reason we kept him. You know.
Well, to be fair, the reason why Czar is so passionate about the Bengals really isn't about
Well, I
Jake
know.
Browning himself. It's about his wife, his fiance. All right, it's about his girl. So
Yeah.
Cool.
yeah.
She's Yeah, I hope she gets some airtime. I'm with Czar on that one.
Hey, she's gonna be in that suite next week. You already know.
Yeah, but you know, this is a good opportunity for him. I mean, undrafted guy, backup. He could probably get a starting job like somewhere next year, or a competition job somewhere if he does well.
Only issue is if he goes down, then Brett Ripon's your quarterback 3. So
Oh yeah.
That's why I would ask for a trade for quarterback, just to be on the safe side. Because Brad Rampant, he's not it either.
yeah. Hey, call up Green Bay. Go get Malik Willis.
You know what I want? I want Will Levis. That's who I want. Will Levis. They're done with him in Tennessee. I mean, we'll give you
What happened to the quarterback? What happened to the
Will
quarterback
Levis,
before
he out
we
for
get
the season.
who?
Will Levis, he done for the season.
He done for the season?
Yeah, he's out for the
Yeah.
whole year. Will Levis is out. He's
Well, bring
Hey,
him.
what
Bring him.
happens-
To,
What's that quarterback name that before that was with Tennessee?
Malik Willis.
Nah, before that.
Tannehill?
you talking about Ryan Tannehill?
Yeah, we're having a Tannehill. Y'all can go get Tannehill.
Man,
Now
I
we're
think
good
he's-
on that.
I think
We
he's
are good on that.
retired. I think you retired.
He's retired. Oh, okay.
I think the only person we trade for would be Desmond Ritter, and that's because he spent off season with us. So, and he's on the Raiders. I think he's like their backup or third stringer.
You know
Desmond
what?
Ritter.
I got a perfect guy for Cincinnati.
Too much money. Kirk Cousins.
No, actually, I wasn't gonna say him. No,
Bring back Andy Dalton. Shit.
I was gonna say bring in Sean Clifford. Come on now.
Sean Clifford, the big red dog.
Yeah, bring over Sean
the
Clifford.
Penn State.
Sheesh.
Penn State, man.
Shout out
Quarterback
to King,
factory.
shout out
over
to
there.
King Czar, Penn State. Yeah, Sean Clifford.
Oh man.
But yeah, man. Sure. Appreciate y'all coming, man. You know, Ralph got to get up out of here. Go Giants, man. Forget them Mets. I hope Mets choke.
They
My
are
Dodgers.
choking. They
My
choking.
Reds are choking. Oh, Reds are
Hey,
fucking choking.
at least the Cubs got the first wild card spot. That's all I care about. So.
Damn.
Hey, all that
So
talking Czar was doing at the beginning of the season. If the Mets
How
don't
for
make
the
it,
Mets? How for the Mets back? Because they got a
Over
top
with.
3 payroll, I believe.
So-
They up there with the
So
Dodgers
hold
and
on.
the
So
Yankees.
right now, the Mets are 1 game up on the Giants in the wild card.
Yeah, they got the wild card
But
right now.
they got 12 games left, and the Mets and Giants and Reds and like, there's all these teams separated by like 4 or 5 games. That's it.
What about them? What about them Braves? Them Braves not in it no more.
Nah,
Oh, they
we
got
done.
eliminated. They're out. Yeah.
Yeah, we out,
Oh,
bro.
hope
We
they're
got
brave
out-
enough
we
to
got
show up.
eliminated 2 months ago. Shit.
Yeah.
2 months. So we gonna.
Yeah, we've been done for 2 months, man. We just playing the schedule because that's what it say for us to do. You know, we already got flights booked and all that stuff for the off
Yeah, they
season.
got there.
You know,
Yeah, man, it's college. It's college football season. Football season for Braves fans, huh?
pretty much.
But
Yeah,
If
it's,
they're brave
it's,
enough to
it's,
show up when they lose, that's the thing.
yeah. It
Hey,
just-
Czar, but
it's-
hey,
all I'm saying is that Josh's team, Czar's team, Blaze's team, and then Arizona are all separated by like 2 games.
dang,
They're all-
Arizona's still up in it.
Like,
Forget Arizona. As long as if we don't make it, I just don't want Arizona to make it. Forget because Mets gonna choke anyway.
We
I
got
don't,
spanked
I
by
don't
the
even
A's
want the
weekend.
Mets. I don't even want the Mets to make it.
I
fuck
don't want
the
it either,
Mets.
but yeah,
oh,
I
you don't
know
even want
don't.
the Mets to make it. Oh,
You know,
Yeah,
You know what?
He a
you know what
Braves
my
fan.
World Series is, or my playoffs is. My playoff in World Series is if I don't make it, the Mets don't make it. When they don't make it, that's a winning season to me. If I can't make it, make sure the Mets don't make it. That's a win-win for me.
That's how I feel about Arizona. Like I don't like the Mets either though, but I don't want Arizona making it if we don't make it.
I mean, my World Series, Detroit and Philadelphia. I mean, that's just my World Series pick, but I'm gonna leave that to the side. When it comes to the Cubs, I just want to make it out the wild card. I mean, Cubs are projected to take on San Diego in the first round.
Oh, that's not making none of that.
Yeah, Cubs and Padres first round. I just want to make it out of there. So
Well, the thing you got on your side is you're heating up and they're kind of like slowing down. So
yeah.
whoever plays Milwaukee walks over that. So I'm not
Well,
sure.
the Padres and Cubs would face out the Brewers second round. So
Winner that's gonna walk over the. I like that series. I honestly like that. The Cubs versus Padres. Whoever wins that is gonna beat the Brewers, and then I think they'll play the Phillies.
and honestly, the Dodgers and Mets have to face off in the first round, and the winner takes on the Phillies. So
Yeah.
There you go.
My team's pretty much out. Like we got smoked by the A. We had Nick Kurtz, my guy Nick Kurtz, who I won in the MLB draft last year at number 2. He went number 4 to the A's. Hit a 500-foot grand slam off us on Saturday, and that's when
he's gonna be the AL Rookie of the Year.
And that's when I knew my season was over. Yeah. Shout out to my fantasy baseball team. We came in second, but the fantasy baseball team name of the year, Nick Kurtz in Paris. Ball so hard, motherfuckers gonna find me.
Hey, Ralph, how
Yo.
the coaching go? Before we get up out of here, I know we've been saying that, but how that coaching go?
Man, I think we might have won 1 game.
Oh damn, you coaching Carolina Panthers or what?
No, I mean, I probably could do better than what they doing, you know. But man, I think we won 1 game, and the last 2 games got rained out twice, so we didn't even play the last 2 games because we was out of it anyway. So we was like, man, just cut the season. You know what I mean?
What sport?
It's over. It was baseball.
Oh, baseball.
But,
yeah, I umpire.
Yeah, the thing about it is like the team they gave us was like leftover players that other coaches didn't want. So they gave us the leftovers on one team. You know what I'm saying? When we first got out there, we did a head count of, asked the kids how many of y'all done previously played baseball before. How do you, do y'all know anything about baseball, like the bases, the positions? And it was maybe like 2 kids raised their hand. Everybody else was like first timers. You know what I'm saying? That was actually playing on a team.